Hello you lovely people and welcome. With the latest update of the SC Designs F-16C Fighting Falcon, I thought it'd be a good idea to update the autopilot and navigation video for it. So as you can see, I've got my usual flight plan, takeoff from Coningsby to Cranwell, Waddington, Otbed, D070 Mike, and then back into Coningsby. And after that we'll do some manual navigation and some of the autopilot. So let's jump in the cockpit. Okay, so one new thing for the latest update is that there is now a pop-out DED, which is there. We click the event there and it will pop out and it will give us all of our menus. So if we click the menu button there, we can go position monitor, data, autopilot, automatic flying control systems, HUD, direct to flight plan, performance, radio nav, and fuel. So for this, I'm going to fly this flight plan on autopilot. I know that a lot of people like to fly them that way, so I'll show you how to do it that way. Before we do anything, I'm going to click on waypoint, stick on waypoint 1, and just leave this on autopilot for a second. Just check that everything is okay down here before we take off. Okay, so I'm just going to change this to ADI, and as you can see we've got a flight plan in here. If we zoom out, okay, we'll zoom in more like, and you can see we've got our flight plan. So Coningsby here, Cranwell, Waddington, Otbed, and then D070 Mike, and then back into Coningsby. So what I'm going to do is zoom back in, just get us on here, so just to show our tracking. Now I'm going to zero out the altimeter. Okay, make sure that is good to go, which it is. Okay, now I think I've covered everything now. So that flight plan, after clicking waypoint, remember to click waypoint 1. You can go auto, but I find that auto is a bit erratic. It doesn't follow the flight plan how you would like it, whereas if you're in control of it by selecting the waypoints as and when you want to turn, I find that's a bit more comfortable. So what we're going to do, just going to trim up slightly so that we can get a good nose up for takeoff. And we can take off parking brake, toe brakes on, spool up, and brakes off, or afterburner. I'm going to rotate about 130 knots. Gear up while we are climbing. Now take it out of burner. I'm going to type in 1000. As you can see, it's typing it here. I'm going to click on the altitude here on R2, activate the autopilot, and for the speed I'm going to do 300 knots. Okay, so clicking those will set that for you, and we want the heading hold on, and we want it as steering select, so bring that down. Okay. You can see that the aircraft is following the flight plan. We zoom in slightly. Okay, as you can see we've got all our information at the bottom right. That's because we've clicked waypoint and selected waypoint 1. Okay, once we get to about 3 nautical miles I'm going to change to waypoint 2, and we'll just track along. You don't have to keep this out now, we're done with that for the moment, so you can hide it. Okay, just watching the countdown. You can see we've got Cranwell on the nose there with a beacon flashing. Okay, so once we get down to about 3.0, I'm going to change the waypoint. 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, so I've changed it, now we're following on to waypoint 2. We've got Lincoln Cathedral there, Wellington here. Okay, I'm just going to track on this for a little bit and then we'll turn on to waypoint 3. I don't overfly Waddington completely. Start turning now, so waypoint 3. Rivet joint. Some E3s down there, and the red arrows are parked over there. Nice. Okay, so we're coming on to waypoint 3 now. Bit of a longer stretch this time round, so I'll speed it up. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, switch. Okay, now that we are basically turning base leg, I am going to pop out the DED again, go to the menu, I'm going to come down to radio nav 4, and put in 111.150 and enter that into nav 1. As you can see, we now have our ILS data. And what else are we going to do? Oh yeah, change the speed up. We're going a little bit too quickly, so bring the speed down to 250 knots. R5 that. Let the auto throttle sort itself out. Coins be over there. Get ready to switch up again. 3, 2, 1, 0, switch. Okay, let's bring the nose round, get on finals. I'm just going to lower that speed down to 240 knots. Now we're pretty much nose on. Get the gear down. Get the all-weather landing system on, so we're going to click L4 for that. And we're going to click the ILSN, sending the info to the head-up display, making that our priority. Okay, and we can now close this as the all-weather landing system, which will let you know. Switch up there by clicking the app switch, and the all-weather landing system will control the auto throttle, and we've got the approach hold on now, so we are now grabbing onto the localizer, and the glide slope will come down. Speed will stay around about 236-ish knots until the glide slope comes down till we're level with it, and then it will start slowing down, and then we'll follow the glide slope down. At the moment we're just trying to get the nose on with the localizer. Should be chasing that glide slope any moment now. Should start moving. There we go. And now, there we go. AWLS has now cut the throttle. We're now chasing both glide slope and localizer, and now the flight computer will try and keep us in line with both. I say try, we're not quite in line. There is a bit of a side window, I will grant that. And then what will happen is when we get to about 50 feet, maybe a little bit higher, the autopilot will cut out, and then it'll be down to the pilot to bring it down to touchdown. Just be ready with the stick. There we go. Throttle right back. Speed brakes out. And we're down. Lovely jubbly. Bit of aerodynamic braking. Okay, there we go, nice. Just gently put our feet on the brakes. Get slowed down to good taxi speed. There we go. And we can turn off. Stick on nozzle steering high. We taxi back to parking. Speed brakes are back in. Okay, so that was following the flight plan with the autopilot. You can do it manually. Just got to remember to hit the next waypoint down here, or if you really want to try it with the automatic down here, just make sure that you are pointing to the waypoint that you want to go to, because it will reset back to the beginning if you don't. Okay, so let's do some old-fashioned navigation and then show you some autopilot controls. Right, so what I'm going to do is going to tune into Ottringham, do this manually. So we're going to bring up DED. We want our nav radio, which we've got. I'm going to put in 113.900. I'm going to hit nav 1. Now that's active. We want hold on, we need to go into autopilot, so we're going to go to menu, L3, not doing GPS, we're doing VOR. So we need the nav info once we get up and we pick up the signal. What I'm going to do is, on the way to Autopilot, just go through some of the autopilot functions, some of the major ones anyway, using these here and also here. We're going to get to Autopilot. I'll change the frequency to Trent just to show you how you can go from one to the other. Then we're going to TACAM back to here, Coningsby, and then I'll do an ILS landing. So let's get up in the air. Parking brake off, tow brakes on, spool up, let it settle, tow brakes off, reheat on, trim up slightly, .120, rotate, gear up. Okay, reheat off. Okay, we're just going to use the autopilot for the moment. Right, so I'm going to go over this now. Don't just click altitude hold because it will take you to altitude 0. So I'm going to set an altitude of 2,000 feet. That will automatically go on. If we switch this on now, it will take me to 2,000 feet. I'm at 1,600 at the moment. Okay, so you obviously want master mode on. You want the flight director active. As for speed, we've got auto throttle here. It has an automatic speed of 110 knots already put in. We can change that. 300 knots. Go to R5. Okay, I'll switch that on. Okay, so now the aircraft has control of the throttle. The all-weather landing system, that comes into play in conjunction with the approach mode. You need to gear down as well, and that will bring you in on ILS. Nav modes, either VOR or GPS. Keep it as VOR for now. Heading mode selected or manual, and again we're going to go for selected because we're going to go on to our heading here. As you can see, we've finally got a signal from Ottringham, so what we're going to do is going to just dial that in so that we can get a nice easy line up of the CDI with the bearing arrow there. I'm going to bring the heading bug over the top of that. Just notice there's no heading bug on here. Okay, so you'll need to come to this screen for the heading bug. Right, okay, let that settle. Now I could go to Ottringham, that's 30 odd nautical miles away. I could do that. I could just turn on to Trent now and show you that. So as you can see, we are just heading up to Ottringham. We've got the east coast of England here, goes into the Humber. Ottringham is just over the side of the River Humber. The Trent VOR, so if I change the radio frequency here, so R4, so we want 115.700, enter that in, and we'll get a change in our CDI here. So if we change that so it's facing that way and bring that heading bug round as well. Okay. It's now heading towards Trent basically, and you can get the info up on the HUD by hitting the nav button on the screen there. Same goes for TACAN when that's dialed in. Don't know how far away from Coningsby we actually are, but it'd be nice to have a little bit of a distance. What I'll do is I won't use Autopilot to fly back to Coningsby. I'll do that all manually, and then we'll get ourselves out for an ILS approach. So you can see we're heading towards it. We are 59 nautical miles away. No way am I going to be travelling that in this video and travelling back. So I'm just going to change the frequency in the nav radio, just so I don't get any interference. I'm going to change the TACAN channel to 48 X-ray. There we go, switch on the TACAN, and we're going to hit TACAN there, so we've got the information up in the HUD. So we're about 11 nautical miles away, and what I'm going to do, as you can see, the bearing needle here doesn't move on that screen, but we've just passed, so I'm basically in line with it. I think it's there. So what I'm going to do, take off the autopilot, so get to menu, autopilot, master mode off, make sure everything is off. Okay, so we're just going to turn onto Coningsby. I'm going to bring that CDI back level with the arrow so that we fly directly into Coningsby. Now I can see it's over there, but it'd be nice to get it, you know, in line. Okay, so it's starting to move now. Start turning, I suppose. Nice gentle turn into that general direction. Turn off the throttle. Okay, so we've got Coningsby directly ahead. Speed up a little bit, bring the altitude down, keep it above 1,000 feet. Can. Four nautical miles away, not far at all. I'm going to brake over the top of the airfield and head downwind out towards the east coast. Okay, coming over the top of the technical site, which is usually a no-no. Okay, and now we're going to turn downwind, bring the speed back. I'm just going to level out here. Don't want to climb too much. Bring the speed down. Go back to our radio nav. I'm just going to clear that, so 1 X-ray, get that off the screen. Now we're going to change that to 111.150, which is the ILS for Coningsby. As you can see, we've now got our ILS direction there, and we're going to go back to autopilot. What altitude are we at? 1,500, and we are currently 5 nautical miles out, so we need a little bit more between us. As you can see, we're below glide slope at the moment, and way off the localizer, obviously because we're going in the wrong direction. So just get that to around about 8 nautical miles, then we'll turn back in. Must remember to put gear down. You will get an alarm if the gear is not in the down position. Okay, so 8.4 that'll do. So we'll just start turning it around, making sure that the speed's below 250 knots. We'll get the gear down now. We are way off, so need to bring it over this way a bit. Okay, while we're doing that, we can hit weather landing system. Master mode is on. Switch on approach. So we're just climbing up to the glide slope. Boom, now the speed will drop. All is good. Okay, and you do need to be on your guard, because when you get to around about 100 foot, between 100 foot and 50 foot, I'm not 100% sure whereabouts it cuts off, or even if it's just a bit above that. Everything automatic will shut out, so you'll need to be on, ready to take control of the aircraft, let it float down, pull the throttle back if it's not, because if you left your throttle in a open position, once that auto throttle is shut off, boom, you'll be up in the air again. So just keep an eye on your controls and everything as you're making the approach. There we go, just below the glide slope, nothing too drastic. Keep making it tight. There we go, so we've cut off and down. Okay, that was a bit hairy. A bit of a side wind. I don't know if it was compensating for side wind there or not, but yeah, let's be happy that it turned out the way it did. Okay, so I'm just going to slow it down, ready for taxiing off the runway. Okay, put speed brakes away. And taxi back to parking. Okay, so that was autopilot and navigation in the SC Designs F-16C Fighting Falcon. So I hope you got something from this. If not, I apologise for wasting your time. As always, take care, and I will catch you in the next one.